Roman Reigns returns and confronts CM Punk backstage on WWE RAW 2025. The Tribal Chief is back and he's coming for blood. Roman Reigns made his shocking return to WWE RAW after months of absence, and instead of making a grand entrance through the crowd or a dramatic in-ring appearance, Roman went straight to CM Punk's locker room and confronted the World Heavyweight Champion in what might be the most intense backstage segment WWE has filmed in years. But here's what's going to make you absolutely lose your mind. Roman didn't come back to shake hands or talk about respect. Roman came back to tell CM Punk face-to-face that the Tribal Chief is reclaiming his position at the top of WWE, and if Punk is standing in his way, Roman is going to destroy him just like he's destroyed everyone else who's challenged his throne. This wasn't a friendly welcome back moment, this was a declaration of war between two of the biggest egos in wrestling, and the collision course they're now on could produce the most explosive feud WWE has seen in decades. The question isn't if these two are going to clash, the question is when and how much carnage will be left in the wake of their war. Declare your allegiance now. Comment acknowledge him if you're team Roman Reigns, or best in the world if you're team CM Punk. Because this confrontation just created the most divisive rivalry in wrestling and everyone has to pick a side. Let me break down exactly what happened on Raw, because every word, every gesture, and every moment of this confrontation is loaded with meaning and sets up what's coming. The show was progressing normally with CM Punk scheduled to cut a promo later in the evening about his championship reign and his ongoing battle with the Vision. Nobody suspected what was about to happen. But backstage cameras caught Roman Reigns walking through the corridor of the arena with purpose. Roman wasn't scheduled to be there. Nobody knew he was in the building. But there he was, the Tribal Chief, walking with that intensity and focus that means someone's about to have a very bad day. Roman walked straight up to a door with CM Punk World Heavyweight Champion written on it. Roman didn't knock. He didn't wait for permission. Roman kicked the door open and walked right into Punk's locker room like he owned the place. That's the Roman Reigns we know, taking what he wants and respecting no boundaries. CM Punk was sitting down, taping his wrists for his scheduled segment, when Roman walked in. Punk looked up and you could see the shock on his face. Punk immediately stood up, not in fear but in preparation for a fight. These two alpha males were now in a confined space, face to face, with years of real-life tension between them. First reaction question: what was your immediate reaction when you saw Roman walk into Punk's locker room? Comment shocked, hyped, or knew it with your honest first response. Roman spoke first, and his words were chilling in their directness. Philosophy: long time no see. I heard you've been having some problems with Seth and his little group. I heard you've been calling yourself a champion. I heard you've been running your mouth about being the best in the world. The disrespect in Roman's tone was palpable. Calling Punk Phil instead of CM Punk. Dismissing his championship as just calling yourself a champion. Every word was designed to provoke. Punk's response was equally venomous and showed he wasn't intimidated by Roman's return. Roman. Or should I say Joe? Because we're using real names now, right? You heard I've been having problems? No, I've been solving problems. I beat Seth Rollins. I won this championship. And I've been holding down this company while you were God knows were doing God knows what. So if you came back thinking you're just going to walk in here and reclaim some imaginary throne, you're sadly mistaken. The tension in that room was suffocating. These are two men who have never hidden their real-life issues with each other. Punk has talked publicly about his problems with WWE's locker room culture. Roman was a major part of that locker room. There's real heat between these two, and now WWE is finally letting them address it on camera. Roman stepped closer to Punk, getting right in his face. You think you solved problems? You think beating Seth means something? Phil, I am the problem. I'm the problem for anyone who thinks they run this place. You had your little moment, your little return, your little championship win. That's cute. But now the real Tribal Chief is back, and everyone, including you, is going to acknowledge me again. Punk didn't back down an inch. Acknowledge you? Acknowledge you? Joe, the only thing I acknowledge is that you're in my locker room, interrupting my preparation for my show. You want acknowledgement? How about you acknowledge that I did what you couldn't do? I left this company, became the biggest star in wrestling outside of WWE, and came back on my terms. You've been here the whole time being their good little soldier. So don't come in here talking about thrones and tribal chiefs when you don't even have the guts to stand up for yourself. Real-life tension question: do you think this confrontation is based more on real issues between them or storyline creation? Comment real heat or storyline with your take. That last line clearly hit Roman hard because you could see his jaw clench and his eyes narrow. Roman responded in a low, dangerous voice that was somehow more threatening than yelling would have been. You want to talk about standing up for myself? I'm standing right here in your locker room telling you to your face that I'm taking back what's mine. You want to make this about real life? Let's talk about real life. You walked out on this company when things got tough. You went and played wrestler in a bingo hall. And now you come back acting like you're some kind of hero? Phil, you're a quitter who got lucky. I'm a conqueror who never left. The personal nature of those attacks was shocking. WWE rarely lets wrestlers get this shoot why and this real on camera. But they're clearly giving Roman and Punk permission to air their legitimate grievances because they know it makes for compelling television. Punk's face went red with anger. Lucky? Lucky. I main event pay-per-views in front of sold-out crowds. I proved I don't need WWE. And you know what really bothers you, Joe? It's that I did it without Paul Heyman holding my hand. I did it without a faction protecting me. I did it on my own. You've spent your entire career hiding behind the bloodline, hiding behind family, hiding behind numbers. So before you call me a quitter, look in the mirror and ask yourself if you've ever truly done this by yourself. Roman's response was to shove Punk backwards. Not a worked shove, a real aggressive push that sent Punk stumbling back a few steps. Punk immediately came forward ready to fight, and for a moment it looked like these two were about to throw down right there in the locker room. But WWE officials and road agents burst into the room and got between Roman and Punk before punches could be thrown. Both men were being held back, both were yelling at each other, both clearly wanted to fight right then. The officials were struggling to keep them separated. Physical altercation question: should WWE have let Roman and Punk fight in that locker room, or was stopping them the right call? Comment let them fight or right to stop with your opinion. Adam Pearce pushed his way into the room and positioned himself between Roman and Punk. Pearce was screaming at both of them to calm down. Enough. Both of you, enough. Roman, you're not even scheduled to be here tonight. Punk, you have a segment in 20 minutes. We are not doing this right now. If you two want to fight, you're going to do it the right way, at the right time, with the right stakes. Roman responded while still staring daggers at Punk. Fine, Adam. Set it up. I don't care when, I don't care where, I don't care what's on the line. But me and Phil are going to settle this, and when we do, everyone is going to acknowledge who the real top dog in this company is. Punk yelled back. You want it set up, Joe? How about Royal Rumble? How about you and me, one-on-one, World Heavyweight Championship on the line? You talk about being the tribal chief? Prove it. Step in the ring with me without your cousins, without your Wiseman, without anyone, just you and me. Unless you're too scared to face the best in the world on even terms. That challenge hung in the air like a bomb about to explode. CM Punk just challenged Roman Reigns to a World Heavyweight Championship match at Royal Rumble. The implications are massive. This is potentially the biggest match WWE could book right now. Roman smiled that sinister smile and said, you just made the biggest mistake of your career. Philosophy Royal Rumble. You and me. I'm taking that championship, and I'm taking your pride with it. And when I beat you, you're going to stand in the middle of that ring and acknowledge me. See you soon, philosophy. Roman turned and walked out of the locker room, leaving Punk standing there with officials still holding him back. The segment ended with Punk yelling after Roman, I don't acknowledge anybody. Come Royal Rumble, the whole world is going to see why I'm the best in the world. Punk threw a chair across the room in frustration, and the cameras cut away to stunned commentary. Match anticipation question: on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Roman vs Punk at Royal Rumble? Comment your number. Let's analyze why this confrontation is so significant and why it has fans absolutely losing their minds. First, this is a dream match that many fans thought would never happen. Roman and Punk have never wrestled a singles match in WWE. They were in different stages of their careers when Punk left WWE in 2014. This match has been fantasy booked for years. Second, the real-life tension between these two adds layers of authenticity that you can't manufacture. Punk has been vocal about his issues with WWE's locker room. Roman was a locker room leader during that time. There are real feelings and real history that makes this feel more personal than most feuds. Third, this is a clash of philosophies about what wrestling should be. Roman represents WWE's corporate vision, the homegrown star who stayed loyal and became the face of the company. Punk represents the independent spirit, the guy who left, succeeded elsewhere, and came back on his own terms. That ideological clash makes this more than just two guys fighting. Fourth, the championship adds stakes that make this feel huge. This isn't just a grudge match, this is for the World Heavyweight Championship. The winner walks away as champion and as the proven top guy in WWE. That prize makes this feel like a career-defining match for both men. Fifth, the timing is perfect because both men are at interesting points in their careers. Roman is trying to reclaim his position after time away. Punk is trying to cement his legacy after his return to WWE. Both have something to prove, and that makes the match feel necessary rather than just a cool matchup. Philosophical debate question: who's right in their philosophy, Roman's loyalty to WWE or Punk's independence? Comment Roman's way or Punk's way with your take. The promo battles leading up to Royal Rumble are going to be incredible because both Roman and Punk are elite talkers. Roman's tribal chief promos have been some of the best character work in wrestling. Punk's pipe bomb legacy and current mic work proves he's still one of the best. When these two go back and forth on the microphone, it's going to be must-see television. Imagine the video packages WWE will create contrasting their careers. Roman's rise through the Shield to Universal Champion to Undisputed Champion. Punk's indie darling to WWE Champion to AEW to WWE returned. The parallel paths that never intersected until now. Those video packages are going to be emotional and epic. The media coverage this match will generate is massive. Mainstream sports outlets will cover this because both Roman and Punk transcend wrestling. This is the kind of match that gets casual fans interested and brings lapsed fans back. That mainstream appeal is exactly what WWE wants heading into their Netflix era. The social media build-up will be insane with both Roman and Punk being active on social platforms. The verbal warfare will extend beyond WWE programming into Twitter, Instagram, and other platforms. Fans will be picking sides, creating content, and driving engagement through the roof. The locker room reactions will be fascinating because wrestlers will have to pick sides or try to stay neutral. Who supports Roman? Who supports Punk? Those alliances and divisions create additional storylines and add depth to the overall narrative. The match itself at Royal Rumble has potential to be an absolute classic if given proper time and creative freedom. Both Roman and Punk can work main event style matches. Both understand psychology and storytelling. Both have the experience to work a 30-plus minute epic. This could be a legitimate match of the year candidate. The style clash is interesting because Roman is the powerful, dominant champion while Punk is the technical, strategic challenger. Roman will use power moves and his physical advantages. Punk will use speed, counters, and his striking. That style difference creates natural drama and allows for diverse spots and sequences. The near falls will be insane because fans will genuinely believe either man could win. Roman's spear and Superman punch, Punk's GTS and Anaconda Vice. When these finishing moves are hit, the crowd will erupt thinking the match is over. Those false finishes will create incredible drama. The outside factors create uncertainty about the finish. Will the bloodline interfere? Will the Vision try to cost Punk the title? Will someone make a surprise return to impact the match? All of these possibilities make the outcome feel genuinely unpredictable. Match prediction question: who do you think wins at Royal Rumble? Comment Roman wins or Punk retains with your prediction and reasoning. The aftermath scenarios are endless depending on who wins. If Roman wins, does that mean he's reclaiming his throne and starting a new dominant title reign? Does Punk get a rematch clause leading to more matches? Does Roman winning fracture the bloodline because Solo or others want the title? Does this lead to the bloodline vs Roman's new regime? If Punk retains, how does Roman respond to losing? Does Roman become more aggressive and unhinged? Does Roman recruit allies to help him take down Punk? Does losing make Roman realize he needs to change his approach? Does this lead to Roman questioning his place in WWE? Either outcome creates months of storytelling. This isn't a one-and-done feud, this is a rivalry that can span multiple pay-per-views and define the first half of 2025. WWE can get multiple matches, multiple stipulations, and multiple stories out of Roman vs Punk. The WrestleMania implications are massive because whoever comes out on top of this feud is positioned for a major WrestleMania moment. Roman could be heading toward a WrestleMania title defense against another top star. Punk could be heading to WrestleMania as champion looking to cement his legacy. Either path leads to compelling WrestleMania storytelling. The tag team possibilities are interesting too. What if circumstances force Roman and Punk to temporarily team up against a common threat? What if the Vision becomes so dominant that Roman and Punk have to put aside their differences? That uneasy alliance would create incredible tension and character dynamics. The other opponents who get involved create additional layers. Does Cody Rhodes factor into this since he has history with both men? Does Seth Rollins get involved since he's feuding with Punk? Does anyone from the bloodline take sides? All of these potential intersections make the story more complex and interesting. Storyline extension question: how long should the Roman vs Punk feud last? Comment one match until WrestleMania or all year with how long you want this to go. The business impact of this feud is enormous for WWE. Royal Rumble buys/views will skyrocket because of Roman vs Punk. This is the kind of marquee match that drives subscriptions and pay-per-view purchases. WWE's financial team must be thrilled that this match is happening. The merchandise sales for both Roman and Punk will explode. Tribal Chief vs Best in the World shirts will fly off shelves. Both men's existing merchandise will see increased sales. WWE's merchandising department is probably working overtime to capitalize on this feud. The ratings for Raw and SmackDown will increase because fans will tune in to see Roman and Punk segments. Every appearance by either man becomes appointment viewing. That consistent viewership is exactly what WWE needs to show Netflix and other partners. The international appeal is massive because both Roman and Punk are global stars. This feud will drive interest in markets around the world. That international growth is crucial for WWE's expansion plans. The celebrity and mainstream attention will be significant because this is the kind of storyline that breaks through to non-wrestling audiences. When sports outlets and entertainment media cover Roman vs Punk, WWE reaches people who wouldn't normally pay attention to wrestling. Business success question: will Roman vs Punk be the biggest money feud of 2025? Comment yes, biggest, or no, something bigger with your business prediction. Let's address the skeptics and critics who might have problems with this feud. Some fans think Roman has been pushed too much and don't want to see him in another main event program. These fans want fresh matchups and new stars elevated. That's a legitimate perspective about WWE's booking priorities. Others worry that Punk is being set up to lose to Roman and put him over, which would be frustrating for Punk fans. There's concern that WWE brought Punk back just to feed him to Roman. That anxiety about Punk's booking is understandable given WWE's history. Some critics think this feud is being rushed and should have been built up more slowly over months. They wanted a longer burn with more layers before getting to the match. That's a fair argument about pacing and storytelling structure. There's worry that the real-life tension might create actual problems behind the scenes. If Roman and Punk genuinely don't like each other, that could create backstage issues that affect the overall locker room. That's a legitimate concern about workplace dynamics. Finally, some fans are tired of WWE relying on veteran stars and want younger talent pushed instead. They see Roman vs Punk as WWE going back to the same old wells instead of creating new stars. That's a philosophical debate about WWE's development strategy. Valid criticism question: what's the most valid concern about Roman vs Punk? Comment with what worries you most or what WWE needs to get right. The historical significance of this match cannot be overstated. This is a match that will be discussed for years as one of the defining moments of this era. When people look back at 2025 WWE, Roman vs Punk will be one of the first things remembered. The comparison to other dream matches is inevitable. Stone Cold vs The Rock, Hogan vs Andre, Cena vs Rock. Roman vs Punk belongs in that conversation of matches that felt huge and lived up to the hype. That's the level this match is operating on. The video game inclusion is guaranteed. WWE 2K games will feature this match prominently. Future wrestling documentaries will have entire segments about Roman vs Punk. This match becomes part of wrestling's permanent record. The legacy impact for both men is significant. This match gets added to both men's highlight reels and becomes part of their career retrospectives. How they perform and who wins affects how both are remembered historically. Final big question before we wrap up: will Roman vs Punk be remembered as one of the greatest matches of the decade? Comment yes, top 5, or no, overrated with your legacy prediction. The bottom line is this: Roman Reigns returned to WWE and immediately confronted CM Punk backstage in one of the most intense, most personal, and most real segments WWE has produced in years. The challenge has been made. Royal Rumble will feature Roman Reigns vs CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship in what could be the biggest match of the year. This is the kind of dream match that makes wrestling special. Two megastars, real tension, championship stakes, perfect timing. Everything about this feud is set up to be epic if WWE executes properly. The anticipation is off the charts and fans are already counting down to Royal Rumble. Subscribe to Wrestling Newsletter for daily coverage of Roman vs Punk. Hit that like button if you're hyped for this match, and turn on notifications for every update. Share this video with every wrestling fan because this is the biggest story in wrestling right now. Roman Reigns is back. CM Punk is ready. Royal Rumble is going to be insane. The Tribal Chief versus the best in the world for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is the match wrestling fans deserve, and it's finally happening. The countdown to Royal Rumble starts now. Let's go.